In this video, I'll demonstrate how guidebooks work and how you can set them up and edit them for your listings. So we'll just go into More, and then Guidebooks. So when you first connect your listings from Airbnb or your PMS, guidebooks are actually created automatically using your AI memory. So in most cases, you won't be starting from scratch. You'll just be reviewing and tweaking what's already been generated. However, you can, of course, create a new guidebook manually using this button here. I do recommend going through each guidebook before sharing it with guests just to make sure that everything looks correct. So I'll open this one as an example. When the guest opens the guidebook, they'll come to this initial page here, which will show them their reservation information, including the Wi-Fi details, the check-in instructions, and the address. One thing to note is that initial page that you come to when you open your guidebook to view it is actually a sample page of what this section would look like to a guest. So if you're wanting to see what the section looks like for a specific guest that's already in your system, you can use this button here to switch it from the sample stay to an actual guest. And then we have the actual guide section here. Everything can be edited directly on the page, so I can just click into any section and update it. So I'll click Edit Guidebook. And then I can click on the pencil icons here to edit this section. I can also add new sections, reorder them, or remove anything I don't need. In here you can add things like a welcome page, check-in instructions, house rules, local recommendations, checkout instructions, or anything else that you'd like to add. Each section has its own visibility settings. So I'll just click on this lock icon here. This allows me to control when the guest sees certain content. For example, I might only show check-in details a few hours before arrival. So when you're editing these sections, you can, of course, add images, add links, embed videos, change the font, and you can also use this Write with AI tool if you're not sure what you'd like to say. It's worth noting that you can also use Ask AI to edit the guidebooks. If you have a specific change you'd like to make in the guidebook section, but you don't want to come in and edit it yourself, you can just add your instructions here and Ask AI will take care of it for you. You can ask AI to rewrite a section, generate content, or fill in missing details. As you can also upload files to Ask AI, like previous guidebooks or spreadsheets, you can use those to generate or bulk update content across your guidebooks if you like. An important thing to note is that all of these changes are staged, so nothing actually goes live until I hit this Publish button here. So if you've made an edit, you leave the page, you come back in, and that edit is no longer visible, you most likely have just forgotten to click this Publish button after making the change. Up here, I can also change the theme. And this palette icon gives you the option to create a custom theme if you like. Here you can also change the font. If you'd like to add custom branding, you can click on this picture icon here, and it will let you upload a logo, footer text, and a footer badge. Down the bottom we also have this local recommendation section. For recommendations, you can add places directly to the map that guests can browse. These can be specific to this guidebook or shared across listings. In this section, you can also add upgrades, so guests can purchase extras directly from the guidebook. The creation and management of these upgrades is actually controlled from a different section. So we can just go into More, Upsells, and then into this Upgrades section here. And these are the upgrades that would appear on your guest guides. I've now created an upgrade for this listing, and this is what it would look like to the guest. So they can click Add to Stay. I can't click this at the moment because this is just a preview. And then they'll be able to pay for that upgrade via Stripe. Each guidebook has its own public link, and there's also a printable version. However, the general way to send these out to guests would be using the guidebook link variable in your scheduled messages, or by having a memory set up in your AI memories that tells the system to send the link to the guidebook a certain number of days before check-in. The AI will already know to send the correct link to the correct guidebook depending on where the guest is staying. You can also reference these guidebook links in places like the AI workflows, or anywhere else that you're using AI to complete a task. I'll just go back to this initial page here so I can show you the shared sections area. When you create content in this section, this will appear on every listing with the matching tag. So if you'd prefer to create sections manually rather than using Ask AI, this can certainly save you a lot of time. Here in the custom domain section, you're also given the ability to connect and use a custom domain instead of the general guidebook domain. So overall, the main thing to remember is you're usually reviewing and improving what's already been created for you rather than having to build it from scratch. And once it's set up properly, Your guidebook can handle instructions, guest info, and recommendations all in one place.